Good morning. Thank you for being here. I just want to say thank you to all those who watch and have subscribed. And if you haven't, please subscribe if it feels good for you. I'm all about starting your day in a really positive and intentional way, being the creator, director, and star of your life, and really like working on experiencing your life the way you want it to be, because it all is within us. And that's what we talk about every day on these videos. So usually I pulled a few cards for you and read that. There's usually always a message for somebody who's tuning in. And then I read often from a book or some concept on spirituality, personal growth, anything like that. A way to help you live your life in a way that feels better for you. Okay, and we're going to read from this book, Parallel Universes of Self. All right, I know I already have two tops on. I live in a cold, damp place on Vancouver Island, so it is cold here. I cannot just wear a shirt without something underneath it. I just can't. All right, the first card is Stuck in the Mud. Sometimes this is kind of like being stuck. You can either be stuck where you're not sure what you're going to do next, or you're stuck because you've started something and it doesn't seem to work out. But there's always a message in that. And sometimes we may be trying to do too many things and get caught up in too many crazy things, or even starting to do something that we just think we should do or other people tell us to do, but really isn't going to work out for us. So we end up at this stuck point. And sometimes that is like God, source, universe saying, I want you to rethink this. Do you really want it? But also we need to learn the difference between fear and just us not knowing what to do next, or just at that stage where we're like, okay, I just have to collect my thoughts, recommit, decide what's next. That's a healthy spot. So it can also mean sometimes we need to slow down. And getting stuck or getting an illness or doing anything like that often is a sign that we haven't taken enough time to slow down, that we're just going full on. Am I focusing on too much on other people or something that isn't going to be right for me? So often it's a time to shift your focus too and go, I need to sit back and think again. Is this a path I want to be on? Or maybe you're struggling and trying too hard to force something that isn't going to fit. So take a look around, reassess your life, think about it, move forward, observe, right? Observe how you feel when you move forward, observe how things are falling into place if they are. Always have that faith, trust, and belief, but also listen and notice the signs. Next card is the Two of Forces, the Willow. And this is about developing strong foundations, being a tree with deep roots, a strong trunk, being that strength and strong, developing your foundation. So sometimes when we're stuck, it's also a time to go deeper, maybe not move ahead so much, but build your foundation bigger. Build a bigger, stronger foundation in your personal self, your spiritual self, your mindset, your self-worth, which is really important. Oh my God, I spent so much money on coaching with coaches trying to build my business, but I did not have a strong foundation on belief in myself at all. So without that strong foundation of I can do this, that self-belief and that love and that trust, no matter how much money I was spending, it wasn't working because I didn't build on that major foundation. Get others to help you, but realize what needs to really be worked on. Do I have a strong support system? Am I being a strong person? Am I digging my roots deep? Have I developed deep faith, trust, belief in myself, worked on my self-worth? And am I now ready to build something or move forward? Three of Wands is about kind of like developing your vision and your momentum. And that comes for that inner reflection, right? It's like, okay, now I feel good. I'm really getting a big vision of where I want to go, because you can't outperform your belief. So if you tell yourself you want to have something that seems so far away from what you could possibly have, the actions first are to build that belief that it's possible, that you can I am working on it. I choose to see it as possible. I choose to believe it is possible. So all that inner work that's required. Then you can expand yourself. You become stronger. you are able to then see and call in new opportunities and possibilities for you. And then the Ace of Swords is all about clarity and the breakthrough, right? When we're solid within ourselves, we know where we're going, we kind of have that vision, then the breakthroughs come. That's when it's like clarity, breakthroughs, opportunities, new beginnings, things happen, things really start to happen and move to you. But it's about developing your personal power. So really developing your own personal power. Do you feel powerful? Do you trust yourself? No, all the things you've gone through in life have built you so much strength. You can handle anything. And that's the thing, is we really need to believe that I can handle anything. Even if something's uncertain, whatever comes up in the future, I can handle it. That is powerful. All right, now the book, Parallel Universes of Self. Today we're talking a concept about labels you put on yourself, kind of like your identity. Once someone understands that the label will determine what reality he will get out of any situation, and that there are millions of different versions of one event, he can start playing with labels instead of buying into one single version of reality. The less self-trust one has in himself, the more he is going to label something in a way that he can be a victim of, because we don't believe we're powerful. Watch what labels you have that come up automatically. And if the negative label is your first and most honest reaction, then allow that. Allow it to play out. Verbalize it. Don't suppress it. This is what you're doing in your mind. If you're like, you really want something, you're like, right away what comes up is, I can't do that. I'm stupid. Or I'm not smart enough. Then he says, instead of just pushing that away, that's a limiting belief you have. That's a deep-seated belief you have. And if you don't work with that belief and change it, you won't be able to move much forward. So it says verbalize it, express it, hear yourself say it. That's so hard, you guys. Exaggerate it, but then consciously relabel the situation so it gets more neutral. So if you've ever done EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, that's kind of what you do. Let's say if you're like, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm never going to be able to do this. Anyways, I'm just showing you. You speak out your fears. You speak out your low self-worth. You speak out what you know is within you that wants to come out, right? Like, I'm just not smart enough. I'm just stupid. But it's funny when you start doing that and you hear yourself say it, it's actually quite shocking, because you're like, oh my God, that's so weird that I still believe that. Or you hear yourself from an adult now. But when you hear it within your mind, not saying it out loud, that's coming from your inner child. So it seems real, seems so real. But when you speak it out loud as an adult, who you are now, you are also hearing it going, that's kind of crazy. I still believe that. Wow. And kind of imagine, okay, I'm too stupid to start this. I'm too crazy to do that, or whatever. And just play it out and follow like what would happen. And you will see in your head, you'll be like, well, I wouldn't do that. Like, that's crazy. Well, I would know how to handle things. I am strong enough. I can ask for help. I can ask advice. I can figure it out, right? So just because inside it's coming from that inner child, and we have these beliefs, but we don't realize actually they're kind of silly. They're kind of still from that inner child point of view. But now you as an adult could probably figure them out. So you got to voice it, hear it from this adult perspective, even write it down, and then change it, and then go, well, I know I can figure it out. I will figure it out. I know who I can ask about this. I can actually watch YouTube videos about this, or I can read a book about this, or I know how to do that now. So then you will see the truth of the situation. So it's really powerful, because when you hear that, well, I'm never going to be able to do it. That's just crazy. I'm just not stupid enough. I'm just not smart enough. And that is such a victim, a low vibe, low self-worth attitude and place to come from. You know you don't want to be there. You know you want to change it. So it just takes that hearing it, feeling it, speaking it, writing it out, then looking at that from an adult perspective and going, wow, that sounds a little crazy. I don't really believe that. I am. And working on yourself, working on that self work, working on your belief and trust. That's what it requires. Hear yourself as you go through the day, or when you're talking about doing something you really desire. What's the first couple thoughts that come up? And work on those. All right, let's do a blessing from the Sacred Rebels deck. So close your eyes, take some breath, inhale, beautiful, loving energy. Exhale, release and relax, let it all go. And inhale again, beautiful, loving energy. Lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, release, relax, drop the shoulders. Close your eyes, hand on your heart. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false beliefs about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is a sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and I receive this now through unconditional love. This is now so. All right, you are worthy, you are deserving, you are strong, you are powerful, you can handle everything, you know you can, you've made it this far. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.